Well, Nucky's power reached its zenith during Prohibition, which was enacted nationally in 1919, but did not go into effect until 20, and lasted until 1933, so basically 13 years. Prohibition was effectively unenforced in Atlantic City, and as a result, the resort's popularity grew and grew and grew. The city then called itself the World's Playground. Welcome to the World's Playground.
I would say like America's Playground.
Right.
I'm sure there's lots of dirty places in France that were.
Right.
France is a
I can just picture two guys in front of a wall on the city, and like the old school Roman, you got to open up the big walls to get in. And there's two guys, and they open and say, "Welcome to the World's Playground." And they open up, and everybody's
there's like Ferris wheels
right.
and carnival rides and fucking.
They're all adults, no kids. Everybody, adults on teeter-totters and shit, swings.
On the merry-go-round. Come on, Jenny!
Yeah. And then there's bars everywhere. little tiki bars or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's hilarious.
Right. This was aided by Nucky, who, with his influence and power in the city, made sure that anyone who was serving alcohol, running a brothel, or managing a gambling den wasn't bothered so long as Nucky got a cut of the money.
Of course.
That's the only way they're bothered. The only way they're bothered. The only way they're bothered. You don't bother those motherfuckers unless I don't get my money.
Right. And they don't pay up.
Right. In fact, most of Nucky's income came from the percentage he took on every gallon of illegal liquor sold on gambling and prostitution operations.
This motherfucker wasn't only charging by, like, percentage of what the bar's making.
And he's probably selling these guys the fucking liquor itself.
I guarantee you. And he's making a percentage of each gallon
gallon they sold. After he sold it to them.
Right.
So the second time being sold.
It's crazy.
Wow. Well,
plus gambling and prostitution.
Right. It is recorded that Nucky Johnson once said, "We have whiskey, wine, women, song, and slot machines. I won't deny it. I won't apologize for it. If the majority of the people didn't want them, they wouldn't be profitable, and they would not exist.
That's true.
The fact that they do proves to me that the people want them."
Hey, man. Supply and demand. Supply and demand.
Right.
Isn't that the whole premise of business?
Mm-hmm. What do people want? We'll supply it.
If people want it, who am I to stand in the way?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, investigators charged that Johnson's income from vice exceeded $500,000 a year, which is equivalent to over $8 million in 2020. Oh my gosh,
$8 million.
He rode in a chauffeur-driven $14,000 powder blue limousine, and more expensive clothes included a $1,200 raccoon coat.
Dang.
His personal trademark was a red carnation, fresh daily, worn on his lapel.
Yep.
At the height of his power, Johnson lived in a suite of rooms on the 9th floor of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel located on the boardwalk.
Wow.
The Ritz, which opened in 1921, was where Johnson hosted many lavish parties. He was known as both the Tsar of the Ritz and the Prisoner of the Ritz.
Wow.
He freely gave to those in need, and he was widely beloved by local citizens, among whom his benevolence and generosity were legendary.
It was.
Johnson once explained, "When I lived well, everybody lived well."
John Gotti comes to mind.
And that's exactly how you win over the neighborhood, by doing shit like that. Capone did it. Frank from American Gangster. What's his name?
Yeah,
Frank.
I forget his name.
Frank, whatever. He definitely gave money to the poor. I mean, all these gangsters do.
Told you Gotti did it. I just watched Gotti last night. The one with John Travolta.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, everybody says it was. It wasn't that bad.
Terrible.
If you don't know who John Gotti is and you just watch it, it's actually a decent movie.
Terrible.
But if you know John Gotti and his history and all that, it is a terrible movie.
Terrible.
Right. It is. But it's not a bad movie if you don't know. I'm saying.
I'm sure the movie is not bad, but
yeah, the movie itself, yeah, it's
everything that I've seen, totally fucking dog Travolta and his acting in it.
No, Travolta did a good job.
No,
actually,
did he?
Actually, it was kind of funky. It was kind of funky. He didn't portray a mob boss as good. He was decent, but not, And come on, Travolta played Pulp Fiction and fucking Get Shorty and
yeah, but that's not a mob boss.
Basically,
that's just a fucking lowly gangster,
right? But still, he could have played like that, and he didn't. I think he got Gotti's character all wrong. His demeanor.
Well, who knows? Has Gotti even been portrayed in movies before?
Yeah, there's been plenty of Gotti movies. It was the exact same, I think in 97, there was, no, actually it's not plenty. I'll say there 3 or 4. Last one in like 97, I think it was. I was looking the other day. It was just called Gotti, and then they got a TV fucking thing. And then a couple.
Oh, the TV show was about his wife and sons.
Oh, that's what it is.
Grown Up Gotti or something like that. Fucking, it's a reality show.
Since its founding, Atlantic City, like other summer resorts, had been burdened with a seasonal economy. Efforts to promote tourism there during the colder months had been not successful.
Who the hell wants to go to a boardwalk seaside where it's all fucking
Right,
cold and
right.
nasty?
The free availability of the alcohol during Prohibition, however,
Okay.
made Atlantic City the nation's premier location for holding conventions. In an effort to promote a year-round convention-supported economy, Johnson directed the construction of Atlantic City Convention Hall. He's like, it's cold outside, we just make a big old building.
Right.
The work on Convention Hall began in 1926 and opened in May of 1929.
Took 3 years to build a hall.
Damn. A 650-foot by 350-foot structure. It was a state-of-the-art convention building and contained what was then the largest room in history with an unobstructed view. No shit. Wow.
Largest room with an unobstructed view, so you
Right.
could stand on the other side of the room and see everything.
Everything. Mm.
I don't know why that's significant, but whatever.
I mean, that is,
You ever heard of a ballroom?
I guess.
Well, under Nucky, Atlantic City was one of the leading ports for importing bootleg liquor, and in 1927 he agreed to participate in a loose organization of other bootleggers and racketeers along the East Coast, forming the Big Seven, or the Seven Group.
Right.
He was the host of the Atlantic City Conference in 1929, which was a meeting of national organized crime leaders, including the old Al Capone himself.
Who was there?
A well-known photograph purporting to show Johnson and Capone walking down the boardwalk together during the conference is of doubtful authenticity.
I'm
though.
sure it happened. I don't know if that's the right
I don't know that
photograph.
they walked down the boardwalk together, but I'm sure they fucking had a couple stiffies.
Right. Well, Nucky's top enforcer and powerful Fourth Ward boss was former Ritz-Carlton Hotel bellhop Jimmy Boyd.
Okay, Jimmy.
Nucky met Boyd around the time that he and Charlie Luciano were forming the Big Seven.
Mm-hmm.
When they met, Boyd and Nucky took an instant liking to each other. They're like, I like you. He's like, you know, I like you too. Can we be friends? You damn right we're friends.
Can you kill people for me? You're damn right I'll kill
I
people
thought you
for
never
you.
ask. And Nucky began grooming him to become the boss of his organization.
Damn, okay.
By late 1920s, Boyd was running every speakeasy, illegal casino, numbers racket, and brothel in the city.
Is that, that's Jimmy from the TV series.
It might be.
The dude, the kid.
It might be.
No, it definitely isn't the dude's name Jimmy?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, there you go, huh?